Hey everyone, Zonas here. So I like to do a brief guide on the King of Time. King of Time is really easy. I have beat him on King 99, including on the new patch where they made changes. A pretty big change, honestly, was made. And I'll have footage here at the end of the video, I think, showing me beating that. I don't want to go through the whole winning the game process this game, as this is focusing on a guide, so I'd like to keep it down to about 10 minutes. So we'll jump right into the perks. So with the perks here, there used to be a different and much better effect on the destructive card. And this is what I used to beat King 99 before they had patch 16. Well, really before patch 16, they hotfixed away this effect. You can run Invoker 10% HP. I don't know if it's worth it, though. It is useful. I recommend Brutal. This is an absolute requirement, along with Physicist, an absolute requirement. You need 4 stacks of Adrenaline now. The nerf to Destructive means that we can't get as much value by going back in time. So we really need to be winning every single battle by the time we go back in time in year 4. And you must go back in year 4 because while you might be able to beat year 1 and sometimes year 2, you're not winning year 3. And very often you'll lose year 2 as well. So you're going to have 1 life left, and your first perk, you're not going to pick Revive because you're not going to be scaling anymore. I recommend Wormhole. Alternatively, you could get something that buffs your Warpers. Or Supplies is really, really good as well. Supplies might be potentially better than Wormhole. But either way, I tend to run in Wormhole way more often for some reason. So we run Brutal. It's a requirement at this point. You really need the DPS. And basically what happens is the longer you stall, the more you accelerate. So you're going to reset until you get a Warper in your hand. That's a little summoner dude. And then Adrenaline stacks. 4 Adrenaline stacks means 4% every second attack speed increase. If you sit there, and especially early games when the enemy has anywhere from like 2 to, 20 units, you might be losing for a while, but it's usually a very slow burn. And except for your own faction and elves in the nature faction, usually your warpers are fine. So even if there's only 1 or 2 left, if the battle's been going on for 30 seconds, 1 or 2 warpers could carry by themselves the whole battle. So you need Brutal now, and you need 4 stacks. You can't get away with doing 1 like I used to do. Physicist, obviously you need 4 of these because the setup we're going to do here is we will lose year 3. We'll probably lose year 2. No perk would let us win going forward. We have to go back in time. It's impossible to win, in my opinion, unless you go back in time. I mean, maybe I'll try it one day, but you must go back and farm the years 1 through 4 as much as humanly possible. So what you do is you set up a level 2 portal and then a level 1 portal, and then you leave your last portal in hand so you can guarantee go back after you pick the first policy. So we need all 4. We can't get away with just 1. We need to make sure we can go back to year 4 because you're going to be doing a lot of resets as it is. Manipulative. I prefer Manipulative over Invoker, although I think Invoker would work just fine. So in this case, the summons will have more HP, but the problem with the summons is early game, your warpers are also going to be targeted, and this doesn't buff their HP. This only buffs the summons that come out. I feel like it's much better just to focus on the warpers themselves, and the summons just naturally are stronger. Maybe if you're going the perk that doubles the health and damage of these summons that come out of the warpers, and you know you're going that, this might be the better perk. But I still think I prefer Manipulative. It might get you a win when you didn't deserve it. It'll help stall a little bit for Brutal, because this is 40% attack speed, lower attack speed for the enemy. Or no, I'm not 40, 20. It's 20. It's 20. But still, 20 is really big. It's like you gained It's not even that. It's better. It's a little bit better than having more health, because some attacks, them coming out slower means a slower snowball and gives you more time to summon dudes, because attacks tend to be in waves. A lot of enemy attacks. Anyway, I would recommend a manipulative. But where is it? Invoker's probably good too. I like to run wise. This is really terrible. You could do anything here. You probably should take Politician always. Should always take the 3 free rolls. Should always do the extra. Well, you don't actually need this one. I'd say if we're looking at swap outable, wise, and expansionist are probably okay to drop. What would I run instead? I don't know. Maybe Invoker and what? The King of Time has terrible perks. Absolutely horrible perks. Wise and Invoker, you're never going to make it to Holy. Like, by the time you make it to Holy, you're way too strong. You've already won the game. Don't worry about Holy. And it's random, and you can't even like control it, and no, it's terrible. More damage, health, no. You don't want more levels on your base. It's already really bad to begin with. Lucky, maybe. Banisher, no. Don't. This is a waste of a perk. I don't know why they gave it to us. It should let us, like, not banish, but let us pick one of our enemies. I would. Why couldn't we have that? Let me pick one of them. I guess because it's time. They want to make sure you can ×3 it. If you had it here underneath the verticalist, that's buffed by leftist. But still, this is a useless perk because you just reset over and over. So I ran this build, but it really doesn't change much, honestly. I just like this because I put the base there no matter where it is, so it gives me a free 3x3 to do whatever I want. Okay, so that covers the perks. This build obviously works on King 9, obviously works on King 1, as it were. I'll show you on King 9 so you can see how brutal it is. But we're not going to go through the whole game. I'm just going to briefly show you, and then I think I'll take a clip in. This might go to about 15 minutes, sorry. So we dropped the Bastion, and oh, didn't get a Warper. We restart. And another thing I should mention is, you see enemies here? We're going to restart, and honestly, you could wait, brother, or you could press like a different key that's not escape, and you'll be able to skip to see the king lineup. Honestly, I would dodge. I would quit and restart until I hit the King of Spells and the King of Nomads, or King of Spells and King of Nothing, maybe. Or King of Spells and maybe Nature. So you can get a copy, so you get more portals. King of Spells and then King of Progress is also good for free level ups, though you're really reliant on getting the level ups. But yeah, I'd say King of Spells is the best to get because you can get a lot of tomes, and tomes can get you a lot of power on the warpers. Anywho, and you can go early libraries and start really accelerating your warpers. So here, we got a warper, we put him down. I'll put him in the middle here. You can put him other places too. I'm just gonna put him in the middle so, you know, maybe I can get libraries or something later. And look, because of one perk, we have 4 stacks of adrenaline. Adrenaline is terrible. I would never actually use it as a card. I'd rather swap it out. So try not to ever use this. If you can get another portal in hand, that's even better. It does happen sometimes. It didn't happen this time. So we're gonna do our setup here. I'm gonna do it in corners just in case I get some buffing buildings. So we're gonna do 2 and 1, and then I'm gonna put the hourglass down. I could put the adrenaline now, but I'm gonna take hourglass. Maybe it'll help me kill some enemies. I mean, this is year 1, and against King of Nomads, there's almost always just the one warlord. This is the only free fight you're gonna have is year 1. Year 2, it already is possible to lose on King 9. Okay, so here, shield is probably best. There's an argument for swords as well, but you just need to, because you have 4 stacks of adrenaline, it's actually better to live and for your summons to live than it is to do more damage, because you will outpace everything in the game eventually with enough attack speed gained through adrenaline and base attack speed. So we're going to take shields here. Camps might be a viable strat potentially. The best thing you want actually is to level up your warper. So the best enemy is your own faction at year 1. We may actually lose this because they already have way too many units. It doesn't seem like it, but this is way too many units. They're going to pick off all my guys. I'm lucky. My summons will like just barely make it, but their melee's probably going to run forward. Yeah, it's looking a little dicey because I've got one guy in my summoners now. Yeah, see, and they have AoE, so they do counter really early. Eventually, you'll have enough summons that they'll run past, and you will actually win against King of Spells pretty easily. But you see that we lost. You will lose. You'll lose year 2, year 3, almost every single time. If you get a level 2 warper, you can win this fight, but that's about it. Okay, so it's either portal or we reroll for a refresh. The reason why we could take a refresh is because it'll let us take the broken perk for repeating a Royal Council that lets us get 3 useless cards that we can then turn into useful cards. I'm going to take portal, although I'd actually rather we had a level 2 warper. But portal would guarantee we can go back again. Who are we facing? I guess we'll just probably lose. Oh, we're facing ourselves. Considering the situation here, I think... Yeah, it would have been better if we could have beaten that because we could have offering away the hourglass, but that's okay. So here we will... I guess I'll adrenaline, although we're probably going to lose. But that's okay. We can lose this. You see how many? They have 21 units already. And our own faction kicks our butt early on because the little boomerang attack just utterly shreds our guys. And remember, we buffed their health by 10. You will lose these pretty much every single time. Even if you have a level 2 warper, it's pretty losable, sadly. Here, I do want to rewind. This is the other card that will carry you super hard. If you have rewinds and you have offering and you have a portal somewhere, you can make it to the end of the game. So here I would recommend Feast. I'm going to greed for Wormhole. Okay. Now we have to go back. We obviously didn't win the last 2 years, so we go back. And because we took Wormhole, which I think is the best choice, you could argue that taking, I think supplies might be better, but only just so. Wormhole is just so good because you can go all the way back to year 1, and that gives you more time to scale. If you picked Wise, it's a tiny, tiny, tiny stat boost, but it does add up. I'm going to take Warper. We need to win this fight. This fight should be winnable. We have a level 2 Warper. We have 5 stacks of adrenaline, and our little summons are going to run into them. And because they do AoE damage, but most of our guys are in the middle of them, they're not going to one-shot all my summoners, thankfully, my Warpers. It's annoying that the one melee ran in here, but it's okay. Yeah, see, we're going to outscale them really hard. Now we need offering, and then we're offering away the hourglass. Yep. Oh man, is this video going to be more like 20 minutes? I hope not. Just want to give a nice video to show off how to do the run. So I think we'll... library is viable here. I wish they'd show you your next enemy, by the way. That would be nice. It does tend to be the same order, though, so it should be spells, and then my own faction, the rebellion, and then spells. Is that right? I'm not sure. I'll take library because I used up. Oh no, right. Yeah. It was nomads, and then it was my own faction. So we'll take the. Let's see. We'll take library, but actually, I think we're going to do portal. Like so. This is why you want. This is why you really want to get offering. By the way, we should be okay this fight. It's a little scary, but again, the acceleration on the warpers should get us. It's possible to lose, actually. We might have gotten a little unlucky here. Yep. Yeah, I don't have any more summoners. Oh, well, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Honestly, yeah, I needed offering. I think offering would have got us. I should have rolled. But that's what you got to do. Just repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat. And then when you have about 20 years in repetition, make sure you keep hitting. Okay, let's get rid of the buddy screen. You need to always try to repeat powerful sections of the game. So in these first 4 years, you want to try to keep hitting that policy, and you'll get like fake policies that are still really good. Either pick the one that gives you 2 time cards, or give you the one that gives you 3 of the blank cards. Actually, I think I'll make a cut. I'll cut back and I'll show you the options. Give me a sec. Oh, by the way, real quick, amplifiers are decent if you picked wise specifically. Otherwise, they're no good for this strat. But we'll put one down so we can offering it away. We hit pretty big, by the way. Beat year 1, got an offering. Using it right away. The reason why cards like offering are powerful, as are rewind in their own way, is basically you generate more cards. So for 1 card, you create 3. So that's a +2. You know, because you would end with 3 cards when you picked your reward for clearing a year. So, and we keep in mind we actually played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards in that order. So if we did rewind right now, we would get a Bastion, a Warper, and 3 portals. I'm tempted to do portal and then rewind. Migration's okay too, because we would get 10% stats. Never, ever, 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 ever use regression. Unless you're going to do like Shrine. Maybe. Then it's actually okay. But okay. Just okay. There are better things you could spend your time on. Yeah, I think I'm going to do portal and then rewind. Oh, right. But we had, right, I played amplifier and offering. I forgot because it wasn't there anymore. So that's okay. We can do amplifier and then we can get rid of it again and get more cards again. And now we're set on portals and we got a shields, which is really good. It's still too bad we didn't get a level 2 warper. I don't think I would have got him because I played them first. Amplifier and the offering actually would have butted out these to the Bastion and the warper. So yeah, but I think I prefer, it's hard to say. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and we get some stats. And then I could sell this for more rerolls. Kind of sad to sell it, but I didn't want to place my portals yet either. Anyway, I'll come back in a sec, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. Oh, they call it the king of time because it wastes your time. To wait a minute at least to win a battle and do it 30 times more than you normally would have to. Anyway, got a level 2 warper. Ideally we'd be using offering, and I could on this portal. I think I will actually. We hit kind of weird. So overhaul is amazing, but the downside with overhaul is it can hit the Bastion. So if we get more overhauls, it's really good, but until then, it's not very good. The ideal is to do offering and then have a rewind. But because we whiffed, I think we just do it the old-fashioned way and we sell for rerolls, which really feels bad. Oof. Also, we can totally lose this fight too. We did really good though. This is how you want to start. No lives lost just yet. Got a good amount of buffs on a warper. Still feeling a little behind. So we're probably gonna have to repeat years 1 through 4. I don't know. I don't know what your total number you'd have to do, because sometimes you end up going a little bit back, a little bit further forward. You fight some wars, you go back again. If we could stay here until we have at least plus 6 years. Ideally more, but at least plus 6 years. So one more portal use. We should be okay. But we want to keep spamming. We want to use portals as much as humanly possible. Ideally, we keep hitting the Royal Council over and over and over and over. Okay, we don't have an offering. I think I'll take the offering. Okay. So, let's just talk about these rewards. And I don't think I'll go any further from here. Loot. Loot is okay. It triggers the faction you just faced. I haven't confirmed if you lose, but I believe if you lose, you still gain the enemy faction, not your own faction. But that's not confirmed. Loot is okay. That's like your third best choice. Maybe second if it's your own faction and you're looking for a portal. Nullify. Nullify is amazing. However, you really need to have rewind in your hand. So Nullify will give you 3 blank cards effectively. But with rewind, you can turn those into cards you'd played previously. And keep in mind, say you played like Portal, Warper, Offering, Portal. So normally with only 3 cards in hand and you use rewind to go down to 2, you would just get the last 3. But say you pick Nullify, now you have 6 cards in hand and you rewind, now you get all 6 of those cards. Nullify is amazing, amazing with rewind. And even without rewind, it lets you, I could play all 3 of these cards and sell one rewind, or sell one of those blank cards that don't do anything. I'd still get value because I get to use all 3 of these cards. And later on, I could use the other 2 blank cards in a rewind. So this is probably your second to first best, depending on if you have a rewind or not. And let's see if we find the other one. Do not pick fast forward. It's bugged. I feel like it doesn't actually level up the time faction at all, or sometimes it does, but only one level. If it hits the Warper, it bugs out. It feels like hard to confirm. There's been like hot fixes, and I don't know if it's fixed things. I don't think it has. It can hit other faction cards, and they do seem to level more reasonably, but I still typically see 1 level up, not twice. I don't usually see it level up twice, especially with your own faction. It only does it once for some reason. Punctuality is the best card if you don't have a rewind, and you don't think you can get one. Offering could get you a rewind, and sometimes you can chain offerings into more rewinds, and that's super broken, and that's how you could accelerate out of King 99. Let's take punctuality just to see what we can get. We do have an offering. So before we go into time, we have an overhaul and an offering target. Let's put down this guy. Get rid of him. Feels bad to get Earthworks. Rewind. We could have done offering first before. No, we had to pick the policy first. In this case, I'm going to do an amplifier and see if overall hits this portal. Because then I don't have to put down my other portal. It did. And since we went back in time, and we have more than 2 cards, we get to keep placing cards. I would say Rewind is really good, but I'm actually going to do Portal. And remember what we played last. We played an Amplifier and Overhaul. So I'd say those aren't necessarily better than what we can get out of here. So wild card, and then we'll just turn this into something else later. Wild card we can put here or here. I might just level up the Warper, but actually, for now, I think I'll just wrap it up here. So again, you want to loop back. Do not go more than year 1. So if you're in the Royal Council year and you have Wormhole, you're fine. You'll go back to here. And you'll want to hit this twice, 3 times, 4 times anyway, because you want these either 2 random time cards, or if you have rewind, the 3 blank cards that don't do anything, because you can turn them into real cards. Or worst case, you do another loot. And it is worth re-rolling, I think, at this point, because there's not that much you need to re-roll for other than trying to get a portal if you don't have any more portals. And then offerings are pretty good to roll into if you can. Eventually, you'll make it past this council. We probably could go past 2 if we wanted to, although if you can keep farming, I would just keep farming anyway. The other year to farm for, obviously, is if you can, you want to farm the Rainbow Army at least twice. So you want to look for a shrine and a temple. You could do camps, a camp build, especially if you find the Rainbow Army early. You could do a camp build around your warpers and then do slimes. And then try to not have too many enemies, so you can always get offering and overhaul, and then you can overhaul and offering away the slimes. And that's really, really powerful. You could carry yourself pretty easily with that, honestly. But yes, otherwise I would look for shrines and I would look for temples. And then you do the same shenanigans with rewinds, with offerings, with overhauls, and with the portals to build, and you'll start using earthworks on the temples once they gain levels with the shrines. You'll then spread the whole map with with temples, and then you could pick up a cemetery, or you can just do 4 libraries. I like running libraries because I tend to fight the king of spells anyway. And against when you have to declare war, might as well do king of blood, because you also want combustion, so that your summons deal AoE damage on death based on their health. And you should be stacking health more than damage if you can afford to. And then, yeah, with Rainbow Army, if you get the leisure, you could also Gigantify. And remember, Rewind gives you back the last card you played. So say you did Shrine, Temple, Rewind. Shrine, Temple, Gigantify. Rewind, boom, now you have Shrine, Temple, Gigantify, back again. And say you play those, you do an offering, you get another rewind, and you get the policy gives you 3 blank cards. You rewind again. And then you have 6 cards. And ooh, guess what's still there? Gigantify, Temple, Shrine. And then you have offering. And whatever trash you put out there to offering away. It's rewind. Rewind is the secret carry to everything. But it's the last puzzle piece, really. Other than maybe the Rainbow Army itself that you need to win. Especially on King 99. So yeah, that covers pretty much everything. Your base is total trash, complete garbage, probably one of the worst bases in the game. You could manual it and wait for the enemy to clump up and then warp them away right before they get to their summoners. But it doesn't really matter. Its AoE is so small that it's hard to really control. It's awful. Awful, awful, awful. With temples, with a whole board full of temples, eventually it's okay-ish. So like if you get the bug where the warpers stand still, the bashing can kill everything, like, you know, the last few years when you've already done plus 30 years. I would recommend, before facing the final boss, doing plus 30 years or so. I seem to end up with like plus 32 every time I've done the King 99 run. You'll know if you're strong enough. Like, you'll want your warpers to have like over 1,000 health. But even better than health is you'll want to have a bunch of steel coats applied to them. And that's why I like running libraries. So, you know, having 20, 30 stacks of steel coats. I like doing a bunch of different buffs because you're going to get them from offerings anyway. Also, I tend to end up going to war against all the kings on accident just because I keep going back in time. And if you can't go back in time, you should. Unless you're really trying to farm for a certain year and you really, really need, like the Rainbow Army. You should pretty much just go back time as soon as you can, almost always. Unless it ruins your ability to go back time even more. And because you will get outscaled really quickly before you know it. Like, trust me, year 10 and we'll murder this army. Not even close. Honestly, it's even scary now, which is why I would go back right here again if I had the chance. And I probably would if I kept playing. So yeah, you want to farm levels as much as humanly possible. Farm the Rainbow Army at least twice to get the temple and the shrine. Try to get the Midas Touch, the steel coat, and yeah, that's probably it. You just need those two. Really, you just need steel coat, honestly. Combustion is really, really good. So is goodness. The damage, dealing 10% of your damage in AoE. And then the on death, dealing 10% of your health. You want both of those. The blood cards, the blood tome, and the King of Spells tome. Those both are pretty good. That's about it. You don't really need anything else. You can, if you get it and you want to. It'll dilute your pool for the libraries, but that's okay. You don't have to run libraries. You could run cemeteries, but you just really want the warper to be really buffed. And the King of Time is probably the most reliable to beat King 99. You just have to get a good reset. And your first 4 years, if your first 4 years are really good, or your first like 7 years are okay, you should be fine. And it should be a guaranteed win if you play smart. And you remember your cards for rewind, so you get a good rewind. You gotta make sure you play cards in good ordering so you can use rewind efficiently. So use cards you don't want to get rewound first. Like, oh, I don't want the Earthworks, but I do want to use it to generate more cards, so I'll play that first. Oh, I don't want like 4 offerings clogging up my thing. I'll use offerings first. And then I get buffs from the offerings. Let me pick the buffs that I don't want to keep getting over and over, like swords. Let me use the swords first. And then I'll use populate or procreate, and then I'll use shields, for example. So, go back in time as much as possible. Run the perks I suggested, face the enemies I suggested, and you only have to retry a couple times, in my opinion. Obviously, excluding the quit restarting over and over until you have good enemies. Once you have good enemies, it'll take you 1 or 2 retries. In fact, I'm pretty sure I would win this one if I kept going. This is a really good start. And this is just the second try I did just for this video. So I'll leave it there. I'll put a clip of me winning and proving the win on the new patch. And yeah, I think I'll wrap up there. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, stick around to watch the last bit, but please leave a like. If you'd like to see more, let's go and end the run, feels bad. Feel free to subscribe. Definitely more videos coming out next. I will try the other Kings at 99, so if you're interested, please stay tuned. Either way, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.